Yes.
Fucker.
Yes, queen. Yes.
All right. Hello, everybody.
We're here again.
This is D.
This is Lynn.
Project Airwaves.
Back at it.
Back at it again. This one we're going to keep it short and sweet, light and simple. Lynn's got some stuff to talk about. I'm going to talk about some stuff real quick and we'll be done. All right. So this is going to be like a quickie.
Oh,
A little bit longer.
a little bit longer.
A little bit longer.
An in-betweeny.
But it's okay. You'll be fine. All right. Start us off, Lynn.
We're going to go over the housing market. The reason why I'm touching base on this is because I am currently in the process of being a homeowner, meaning owning my own house, not renting, not leasing. I'm going to purchase. Yes, I know, before all you people start trying to tap away and tell me what I'm doing is wrong, I have to buy a house now, because if I don't now, I'll never be able to get one. Realistically speaking, from what I've been learning, I know, right?
Kind of right.
My income, I would still be considered low class, which is crazy because this is the most money I've ever made in a job.
Right.
With the amount of overtime that I'm working, I'm making more money now than I was a manager and a store manager in retail companies. And I still barely qualified for a $200,000 loan. Barely. They were looking for dual people, like two people that clear close to six figures between the two.
Yeah, a family.
Mm-hmm. But still having someone that was head of household.
Right.
My loan got me under. You know what's crazy is my dad makes more money than me, and he barely got cleared for $50,000 more than what I did.
Yep.
$250,000.
Yep. And
with the houses 5 years ago, the house that my dad got was barely $170,000 house, and is now a $250,000 house.
Absurd.
The market is fluctuating so badly. People keep having this mindset where they think that the market's going to crash. I'm here to tell you this, and I've been hearing it from every realtor and lender that I've been picking at for the last few weeks, because my lease is up with my roommate in September on the 11th. The market will not crash.
The market is fine.
It's not going to crash, and what sucks to say, being a local, which Dee pointed out to me a couple days ago that I've been thinking about, locals are getting pushed out of Nevada because people from California that are expediting over here, they're coming with $400,000 houses that they had, which was an average house for them.
Right.
Our $200,000 house is the equivalent of a $400,000 house there. So they're coming over with $400,000 worth and buying over asking price.
I was going to say, they're spending more money than what's needed.
What's happening is, like, I get approved for an FHA, which is a first-time home association's loan, in order to buy and purchase this house. And even with that FHA, it barely gets me in the door to buy something for the very first time. Meaning I can't get anything that I want to buy without still needing a closing cost on the house.
Yes.
The FHA will cover my down payment, which is like $5,000.
Oh, you're coming out of pocket.
But then out of pocket, they want a closing cost of $6,500 to almost $8,500.
Oh, yeah. I believe it.
I don't know about any of you guys, and I don't have a lot of very wealthy friends, but I don't know a lot of people that are just sitting on $10,000.
No.
Yeah. So it's like, and which is realistically
Not as a single individual.
No, and I understand, prior to, I was trying to get a house and things didn't work out. So now that I'm trying to get a house on my own, it just is crazy to me to think that I have relatively good credit. My credit, my FICO got hit at like a 778, which is almost 800. Yeah, it's higher than I was expecting. And even still, they were like, "Oh, we can't give you this loan because you have a car payment." I'm like, "Okay, well, what does that have to do with anything? My car payment is completely separate. I use my overtime money."
Some of your income.
But that's what I was like trying to explain to them.
Right.
It's my overtime income. Overtime is guaranteed with me because of my class and my job.
Yes.
Meaning I can go work for corporate 1 week if I need money, or go work a concert.
Yes.
Work a venue. Go do something.
But overtime is like side cash.
They said, okay, because of that, we'll include tips. That's considered tips
It's
for
a
you.
tip,
And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. So they go to do that, but they're like, okay, your loan only qualifies you for $150,000. I was like, I can't even buy a box for $150,000.
Yes.
Let alone a fucking apartment or condominium or townhome or a house. So I refinanced the car, get it dropped down like $200.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Fantastic, right? And my car payments are pushed back for a couple months. But then these motherfuckers are like, okay, we'll bump it up to $190. I was like, you're gonna give me $40,000? Just make it $200.
Nope.
Make it $200. I'll do whatever I need to do to flex in order to get that. They lock it in close to $200, and then they're like, okay, you don't qualify for houses in the area you're looking for. And I'm trying to shoot, for the locals that are listening that live here, I'm shooting in between Flamingo and Desert Inn.
Yeah.
Almost out to Lake Mead and Centennial.
Yeah.
Out that way, that
Like
stretch
the
from south
Summerlin-ish
from south to north, and then I'm not going any farther than Rainbow.
Yeah.
And I want to go up to no higher than maybe Durango.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty decent spot.
Fair.
Right? Every fucking spot that I'm looking for is literally hitting me at Jones. Is hitting me barely at Rainbow, Vegas and Rainbow, Vegas and Jones. And I was like, dude, I was like, okay, it's fine. I get approved for the loan. I go check to see what's going on with the realtor. Luckily, it's my dad's girlfriend. She's being very, very helpful. She's even willing to, the way that she works as a realtor, which is if anybody has any questions, comment down below. If they're trying to purchase a house, she's phenomenal. She uses her commission, a part of her commission, to help you with your closing costs. So if I need to get $5,000 to $6,000 in, she'll cover like $2,000 to $3,000 of it, which is a lot.
Right.
So I'm looking for this spot, and then when I go get to a certain area, like we had a listing of like 4 to 5 spots. Can only look at 2 of them because what's happening, and I forgot that this was a thing. Vegas still has the law to where they can't evict individuals.
Oh yeah.
Due to the pandemic, and I thought that I knew about it last year because I remember I had to miss 1 month's rent because the person I was living with they lost their job.
Yeah.
So we didn't pay rent for a month, but then paid it right back. I only thought that was only for a couple months. I didn't know this was still going into the year.
Yes.
Almost a year later, to where now I have to literally wait, and I know it sounds shitty, I have to wait until July 31st.
I think so, yeah.
For evictions to come back into play for all the people that are squatting and not paying rent.
Yeah.
To give up their home so I can buy a house. Yeah. And I'm like, it sucks. Like, you can't physically get in anywhere. They want all this money. And even still, when I was talking to my realtor on the way over here to record the episode, she was saying, because I have more time now to buy, because I do have somebody that's taking the other half of the apartment.
Right.
So I can extend my lease out just a little bit longer. She's like, if you put an offer in right now, there will be 10 other offers behind you. So she's like, my house that she just bought, she goes, I had to offer on 10 different houses before I finally got my house. She goes, so the house that you want right now, and you put an offer on, by Wednesday you'll get denied. You'll have to go find another house. Yeah. These offers are coming through so fast. And she was explaining to me how if you pay for a 10-year loan, they'll cover 3% of the closing costs for you and 5% of the down payment.
Yeah, because it's more long term. They'll get more interest and they'll get more money out of it.
But then what fucks you is you lock into that house for 10 years.
Yeah.
No selling, no refinancing, no nothing.
Most mortgages are 30 years.
Yeah. It extends off into a 30-year thing. After 10 years, there's no APR that charges against you, meaning you're forgiven for the debt. Right. Meaning if I decide 10 years, I don't want this anymore, and I've already established equity on this house, which the minute you buy that box starts to gain money because it's just sitting there. The realtor was telling me that 5 years ago when she bought her house for, it was like $325,000, it's worth almost $500,000 now. So she couldn't even afford to get the money back for it because of how much the market is increasing. So for all of our listeners, if you're trying to buy a home, I know it sounds shitty and I know you're waiting for the market to crash. Don't. Because if you don't buy anything now, in the next year or two, all the people from California are going to buy out all the houses, and you're not going to have anything left.
They're going to try. Well, and it falls into the regentrification thing. How, like, where we call the hood, so it's like Martin Luther King and East. Yeah. They're rebuilding everything.
They're trying to.
And it's funny because I was telling them, I'm like, they're going to rebuild it, make it more expensive, too expensive for the people who are here to afford it. Yeah. And then you have to vacate, which means they're just going to kick you further and further out.
Where we live right now was a very, very nice part of town.
Yes.
And now it's just kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
And it's to think that you're getting pushed down the food scale. Yes. Meaning Summerlin is literally for only the kings and the queens.
Yes.
Centennial, Kings and Queens, Henderson,
yes.
It's all the nice stuff. When you get into the middle parts of town, it's more or less for the modernized people that can still pay rent but are still living check to check.
Pretty much the further east you go.
Yes.
The shittier, so say you were in Summerlin.
Yes.
The further east you go, the closer you get to the strip, the shittier it gets.
And now it's going to be where we're living now, we'll be living over on that side of town. Because the people that can't afford where they used to live,
right.
the shitty huts and houses that they live in are now $200,000 houses.
Oh, yeah. We own 2 houses down on Martin Luther King, and my brother was staying in one of them, and my parents told me straight up, they're like, we could get probably $1,400 for this house.
$1,400
in rent.
Yes.
A month.
Yes, and it's not.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
This thing is like 60, maybe older, 60, 70 years old. They're like, yeah, we just spruced it up a little bit, put some insurance on that thing, boom, we just made income. I was like, dude, what? Like, I was looking for an apartment, and I'm down on Nellis.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I was like, $600-700. That's what. So me and Lynn, when we lived together, I don't even remember the year. We were like 18, 19.
Dude, I don't. What? 20?
It might have been 20.
No. I mean, you're right. Like, because I would have just barely gotten out of high school, so it would have been 2007. So 2008.
Yeah, because I graduated 06.
So it's been almost 10 years.
So we moved into an apartment. It was a dual master. Okay, dual master. He had his side of the kingdom. I had my side of the kingdom. We were coexisting. That was like $750, maybe $8 back in the day. Now that thing is going for almost $1,600.
I looked at it because one of the townhomes that I was looking at that was right across from it. Because my dad lives right across the street.
Yeah, it
from
was like Torrey Pines and Vegas Drive.
Yeah, it went from being called Oasis to Calypso.
Yeah,
and now Calypso's running at $1,450 to almost $1,500 for a 2-bedroom. And I know it isn't any bigger.
That's
like it's just the same fucking thing. Yeah,
and it's upstairs, so you know it's more.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it's like it's nuts because it feels like we're always behind the curve. Like you said. Me and Lynn are making as the most we've ever made in our entire lives, like in a good way. You know what I mean? And we're still trying to make more.
It's still
paycheck to paycheck.
It's still paycheck to paycheck.
These cars are expensive. Insurance is expensive. He's trying to get his own house now, so that means without someone else.
Oh, dude, I
people.
I already know to this extent because I told my realtor I'm not settling for anything under because she kept trying to shoot me 1-bedrooms, and I was like, no. I was like, not only am I not going to be able to resell it. Because nobody needs a 1-bedroom.
Yeah, damn near nobody.
I need 2-bedroom, 2-bath. No matter what. Whether the fuck it's at, I'll fix it up, do whatever, because I'll be owning it. I'm using it as a financial increase to better myself, not just because I need a spot to live, but because I know down the road, I may or may not be in Vegas forever.
Yes.
But at least I know I'll have a house
You'll
to
have
sit on.
somewhere to come back to.
And you're building money off of it. Right. My pops was, another thing that the realtor was telling me, my pops was telling me was that the equivalent of owning a house for a year is your equity goes up 3 to 5 times the amount. So think about 5 years ago, whatever you made, like your equity goes up once a year.
Yeah.
Now your equity goes up 5 times, 5 years worth. Mm-hmm. So if I'm getting $100 extra a year, that my house is valued now it's $500 extra.
Yeah.
So you're making that house that you've seen that he just moved into like maybe 2 years ago, it literally went from $250,000 to almost $325,000.
That's insane.
So that's his money.
Yeah.
It's just I understand how real estate and property works now, and why a lot of people make money off of buying and flipping and selling houses.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which it's something now that I'm trying to get more knowledgeable into it.
Right.
I would definitely use that as a side thing.
Because it's the thing is it's not easy to sell a house. But when you do sell a house, it's for an exponential profit most times.
A huge profit, dude. It's not like you're selling a car. You're selling like fucking 5 cars.
Right, you know what I mean?
Getting your foot in the door and buying something now that you can lease and rent out down the road to people that are coming from California with $400,000 in their pocket.
Yes.
And be like, oh, I know you have $400,000. What's your normal rent? Oh, my rent's normally $2,500 a month.
Yes.
You know what? My rent is $900, but I'm going to charge you $1,500. Oh, perfect. So now I'm making a $600 profit, and you're paying my rent.
Well, and now is a good time because, like myself, I don't have money to put down on down payment. Working on it, still raising my credit. Start working on investing. You know what I mean?
Investments are, important.
Work on multiple streams of income.
Right.
So, Bitcoin, learn the stock market.
Cryptocurrency.
Become a real estate agent. And you could start selling and flipping and buying houses, type stuff like that. You got to align yourself so that way when the opportunity presents itself, you're perfectly equipped to deal with it or to invest. Because like Lynn said, he's trying to get a house right now. He happens to be in that position where he can financially put a down payment on, and be covered, things like that. But for myself, it's like, okay, maybe not this time, maybe next time. So it's like, I'm looking. And yes, like he said, the housing market is always going to sway. But the one thing you can always rely on, stuff's going to get more expensive. Like no matter what, the housing market, what was it? A few years ago, the housing bubble supposedly burst.
Yeah, 2008.
And like everything, all the houses were like cut in half as far as their value. The housing market came right back. And now it's even worse. Well, better, depending on which side of the fence you're on. And so you just want to make sure you financially prepare yourself. Save money. Make sure you have multiple streams of income. Make sure you're not only relying on like what me and Lynn are having to do. We're having to rely on our one job to bring in our income.
No.
Well, so I'm doing what Lynn's doing. Lynn's taking a different route, but we're going to the same goal. I'm trying to have multiple streams of income. So is he. We want to grow this brand so that way we can help you guys develop your own brand, develop your own way of developing multiple streams of income.
Learn from we're gluttons for punishments for new activities, new adventures, new bettering.
Yes.
And a lot of people, I feel like they get cold feet where they don't want to take chances because they've never known anyone else to take it.
Yes.
We're willing to take the chances because we know that we're not happy with what we're at and where we're at and what we're doing, so we want things to get better.
Yes.
So I will grind myself into the fucking wall and do as much as I possibly can. So if I do succeed, I want to be able to share it with the people around me. Like, hey, I know you're struggling. What's going on? This is what I did, and this will work for me. So let's see if it works for you.
Right.
Yeah, it helps other people grow in their community.
You know what I mean? So, like almost like a good pyramid scheme.
A good pyramid scheme. So next, off of what I wanted to talk about.
Oh snap!
It's honestly it's really really short. It's going to be 2 other things. The frustration of going to the gym.
Ooh.
The gym is a part of my life. It's always been. But I feel like in the mindset of what it happens to be is that everybody's a unicorn. Does that make sense to you?
Oh.
I put it off of when I go to the gym now more than anything is I come across
kicking everything.
I'm sorry. My leg. I hit my leg. It's just I was trying to train a couple days ago, and I know it's more or less off of my mentality. When you come across a lot of the girls at the gym, or guys vice versa, that are going to the gym more or less to post and brand for social media, they're not there for actual physical gain. You're getting girls that are like booty shorts, busty tops, everything, and when they train, their mentality is that if you see me sit down on a machine and you come up to the same machine, I just started my set, and you go, how many more reps do you have until the set? A male's initial reaction is normally, I'm done. Yeah, go ahead. Because you think if you're going to converse with this female and be nice to her, she's going to do something for you. She's not going to do anything for you. You're doing it out of the mindset of thinking because she thinks because she's pretty, she gets to get shit given to her.
And so then it works.
It does. It works. It's very, very rare. But then I've been through enough shit to where my mentality is if you aren't doing anything to gain my trust and to be a part of my life to help me with something, I don't do shit. Pretty or not. And D's got me on this a couple times. It's like when a girl will come up, and we were training it was a couple weeks ago. A girl tried to come up approach, and she's like, how many more sets? I look at her, I'm not done. And she's like, okay. They get so blindsided by it because they're not used to being told no. And it's my mindset where the same thing at the gym. You'll get guys that'll be sitting next to a bench press, and they're just posing on the press, but not actually doing the
taking
reps.
Fucking selfies.
And it's like the gym is so packed that it becomes frustrating. To my mindset, it's like, when the fuck did everybody become unicorns? Everybody, when you see a unicorn, you're like, oh, fuck, it's a unicorn. I've never seen that before. It's beautiful. It's majestic. Now it's like, I'm seeing so many goddamn unicorns. Where the fuck are the donkeys at?
Yes.
Just put a donkey in my face. Like, it's just, no.
It's like, ridiculous because, and Lynn's been dealing with this longer than I have because it's funny, the way me and Lynn grew up, Lynn's always been more confident talking to girls than I was till I went through like puberty and I was just like, oh yeah, I'm a man. So it would be funny because we'll go to the gym and the most unexpected shenanigans happens. I've run into ex-girlfriends at the gym.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
I've run into friends and coworkers and stuff, and no matter what, because everybody, when you go to the gym, you want to look your best. You're about to get your gym body on, and if you don't impress anybody else that day, you want to try and impress somebody at the gym. Wrong mindset, but that's just how it works. So yes, when me and Lynn go to the gym, don't get it twisted. You see dudes in short shorts where it's like, bro, if you sneeze, those fuckers are coming off. And it's just like, why did you wear that? Like, you obviously came here to do more than get a good pump. And I've mentioned this before, like, now that I understand how to properly keep my muscles warm, stretch,
compression,
how the bench works and how my muscles like to, how they contract and expand and all that stuff. Now, every time I go to the gym, I'm wearing almost full-blown, I have a long-sleeve compression shirt, compression pants, so not shorts, compression pants. I'm wearing a sweater over top of my compression shirt.
And it can be like 100 degrees outside.
Right,
yeah.
and I'm wearing shorts over top of my compression pants because I'm not trying to completely die. I'm sweating like a slave on the warm-ups. So, to me, I'm like, that's a mindset. Now, I'm not saying everybody that comes to the gym should be completely covered. What I'm saying is you can tell the people that came there
to actually train,
to work out. Like, okay, yes. I get it. You wore some loose shorts because you're going to be on the bike, so you don't want, all that fabric getting in the way when you're trying to pedal. Maybe you're doing a lot of aerobics and you don't want all that fabric rubbing or whatever.
Do you have ice cubes?
We used to.
Aw. Why is your filter so warm?
It's not warm. I just changed the water.
This protein
takes a minute.
This protein powder tastes like
can have protein
like caca.
These nuts.
I don't want your nutty protein. All right, go
like
ahead.
Almonds.
Go ahead and go.
But,
ew, what? go.
But you could tell, you know what I mean, when somebody goes there, and especially, I'm sure women, you guys have seen this as well. When you go to the gym and you're just surrounded by a bunch of walking hormones, and you could tell they came to the gym to either get some tail or they came to get hit on, just so they could feel better about themselves. And to an extent, there's a fine line there, but when I go to the gym, that was the biggest distracting thing ever. Me and Lynn will be talking and we're going over, we're supposed to work out, and you just see this piece of tail walk by and you're just like, good God.
You have to put blinders on.
Obviously, you're not going to chase it.
No. You have
but
to
you're
put
sitting there
blinders
going,
on.
that's exactly what she wants.
There's nothing to be gained or looked at. Like, it becomes eye candy. You're window shopping.
It really is.
You're window shopping for something, and it's like, okay, you've already been told once with your eyes that you can't have what it is that you're looking at.
Yes.
Because you can't afford it, or just it's not in your criteria. But being constantly, it's like, okay, I want to go somewhere else. Nope, you can't. You got to stare and sit there and stare at that store.
Yes.
Nonstop with no breaks.
Right.
And it's very, very hard.
Doing.
The discipline is there. It's never been an issue, at least for me, to not pursue. But it's the concept of I'm tired of looking at it.
Extra work.
I don't want unicorns.
Right. It's extra work.
Get out of
I'm
here.
already having to mentally push myself to go to the gym. Having to mentally push myself through this set because we do bodybuilding. We're not
This is more of a male topic because I don't think females really have much of the issue when it comes to it.
Dana Lynn Bailey.
There's Dana Lynn Bailey is like a whole other thing.
There might be a Dana Lynn Bailey listening to us.
I fucking wish.
If you're out there, hi. Nice to meet you.
That'd be great. I just saw her train with Kai Green.
No! Did you see her with the two other girls?
What's her name?
The blonde chick.
She's a she's a CrossFit champion.
Wow.
She was in Wonder Woman. There was a part. Did you see the Wonder Woman movie where they're in the tomb and it's coming down and she's literally catching it?
Yes.
And she's squatting the whole wall up. And I look at it and I was like, why does this chick look familiar? I was like, oh, that's right. She's like a world famous CrossFitter.
Yes.
I was like, okay.
So that's what I mean. Like, you see girls like that, and you see them putting in work like these girls do, and you're like, okay, I get it. And they're not putting it in your face. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's
I support that 110%.
It's the ones where it's like they're on the hamstring curl, or the one for like your butt where you like bent over.
Dude, so yesterday I was training legs, and there's the hip abductor. And
the twerking machine.
Yeah. So there's a hamstring thing right next to it, or a leg extension thing next to it. I go use it, and there's a girl that walks there, and she's Brazilian or Portuguese or whatever like that. She comes in built the same way. She has a gray pants on and then has a sweater with one thing hanging off the shoulder.
Oh yeah.
So she's walking around just staring at people, and then goes and sits on the machine, doesn't use the machine, puts her shit on the machine next to it. So I go up and I ask her, I was like, oh, are you using this machine? And she goes, yes. I was like, okay. So I go to sit across from another spot. I sit there for 30 seconds to decide if I'm just going to train on a different machine. Doesn't do anything. She sits there. She looks around. She pushes her butt out. Looks to see if anybody's looking. Goes and does one rep on the hip abductor. Shit's still sitting on the machine that she's not going to use. Changes the shoulder side from left to right for how her jacket was displaying. No. Like a Dirty Diana kind of thing. And then gets up, walks back around, sits back down, looks around again. Sits down, does one rep, and then gets her stuff, and then looks at me and goes, I'm done. They literally brought the topic onto my head of like, she's already built the way she wants to be built, but she doesn't put in any effort into the gym whatsoever. And she literally did it to seek attention, because she walked around the gym to see who was looking, sat down, did one rep on a machine, just one, because I was sitting there for almost like a minute, and I'm like, I don't know whether it's from a workout. I don't know what the fuck she's doing, if she's even trying. It's a frustration, and it's more than not. What I try to preach is that if you're going... The gym is meant for personal growth. Yes. Use that to the potential. Don't make it a watering hole. Yes. Don't. There's a YouTube guys that I follow called the Buff Dudes. Have you seen them?
No.
And there's an episode that they have, or they made it forever, like 5-6 years ago. They're really goofy and corny and stuff like that. And they just kind of break down different ways of doing different things. But one of the things is they broke down how the gym is a wildlife environment. And they made it so where big buff dudes were like gorillas, so they were kind of like walking around the gym on their knuckles. And then you had the really skinny guys that were giraffes that would extend their neck out to look to see if a tricep machine was open. And then you would have the girls doing like dumbbell pulls, and they were super busty. And then you'd have the other guys around her like hyenas, so they were crawling on the ground looking at it and stuff. And they started attacking each other to get the attention. And it broke down. It was like an 8-minute video, but they did it so well. To push it, and it's like, dude, obviously I'm not the person who thinks about it.
Because on the other side, you have the people who are going there that look way too hot, I guess, if you want to attach a term to it. But then you have the people who are like, you shouldn't be wearing that type situation. So it's like, okay, we all know girls like to wear leggings, okay? Nothing wrong with a girl wearing leggings. However, honey, if your stomach is coming out of your leggings and covering those leggings, you might want to readjust maybe what you're wearing. It's a slight distraction. Like I told y'all, I'm fat, okay? I'm not gonna lie to nobody. I'm 285 pounds. I'm just all chocolate deliciousness. However, I'm not gonna wear what Lynn wears.
Drinking my protein shake.
Okay, Lynn wears an ultra medium.
I definitely don't. Okay. I'm wearing a large. He's insulting somebody that actually works out and is in shape. So
he's wearing an ultra medium compared to my big 2-3 XL ass. Okay, so I get it. Cover up though. The thing is, what we're talking about are distractions. When we go to the gym, like I said, it's already mentally challenging enough to get off work, force yourself to get into the gym. So now I'm trying to eat right. I'm trying to make sure, I get my sleep after the gym, protein, BCAAs, trying to make sure I hit my reps. I might be going for PRs that day. Am I bodybuilding? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? There's a lot of mental gymnastics that goes into going to the gym if you're going with a real purpose. And when you're constantly seeing these distractions, I don't want to see your tiny 90-pound self on this tricep push down, and you got 2 45-pound plates, and when you're pushing down, you're literally just lifting yourself up and putting yourself back down in the chair. I need to use that machine. I might want to hit my traps. I might want to hit my triceps from a different angle than just doing tricep curls or by doing shoulder or skull crushers. I want to try that machine, but your little tiny self is just having a little good old time like you're a 5-year-old in the playground.
I'm gonna stop.
But like I said,
sun's getting really, what is it?
Sun's getting real low there, big guy.
Sun's getting real low there, big guy.
This is what I'm talking about. This is why I stopped going to the gym.
It's gonna be okay. Let's put it. Let's
go
put
to
a
the
cap
next
on
topic. This is Lynn's show. I'm out.
This is my last cover.
I'm sitting back here.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. This is a question that I've been wondering. Let's say you meet somebody that is who would you want to meet if you got to meet anybody that you kind of not necessarily idolized but looked up to? Anybody.
Gohan.
No, a real human being in this world. Okay. You know what? No, this is fine. Okay. So I mean, we're gonna go off a Dragon Ball Z reference. I was gonna say Joe Rogan, obviously, but
of course,
it's more or less. So Gohan approaches you,
and
tells you, hey, so I'm here for a day. I'm gonna give you the option. I can teach you a move, Kamehameha, and I'm gonna reference off of this my side thing for Joe Rogan. I meet Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan goes, hey, I'm here for a day. You seem like a cool guy. I like your podcast. I'm gonna give you $1 million. I'm like, oh, great. We'll revert back to Gohan.
Yeah.
Gohan says, I'll teach the Kamehameha today, or you can travel with me, and for the rest of your life, you will constantly learn moves from me. So I can teach you one move one time, whatever move you want, and you will be the best at it. No one else will know it except for you.
It's the teach the men the fish thing.
Yes. So what would you rather prefer? Would you prefer to have a lifelong friend that's successful?
Yes.
Or would you rather have an immense amount of money in one sitting?
I would definitely take traveling over learning that one move.
Because you're learning. Now, mind you,
again.
you're mastering this move that nobody else will ever know.
Yes.
That nobody can ever compete with because he's only here for one day to teach you, or he will take you with him and he will train you for the rest of your life.
Now, here's where I'm going to overthink it. Shameless plug. So, I mean, because if I really think about it, show me this one move.
It's one move.
I'm going to do it. So I'm Master Roshi. And I just learned the Kamehameha way.
For the very first time. You're the only person actually.
So I'm doing it, but guess what? I can't do it often. Because it's heavily destructive.
Yes, and that's why I was trying to make it a more human, realistic thing.
But even still, even with the human thing, you wouldn't even
have to be the Kamehameha.
You would want to travel with Joe Rogan.
Let's say instant transmission.
Yeah. But at the same time, I'm going to learn that anyway, just by being around him.
Exactly. This is the reason why me and D mesh so well, because my mentality is, and what a lot of people are dealing right now, people want fast fixes to where they think they're going to be given something one time. It's like, okay, equivalent to like a stimulus check.
Yep.
Stop everything else that I'm doing, and in exchange, I will give you this one thing one time to better your life for a limited amount of time.
Yep.
Or partner up with me for life, and in exchange, I will change your life.
I would rather rewards, countless rewards.
I would rather travel around with him.
Right.
For we could be best friends. So it's like how Dave Chappelle and whatever and him are doing the comedy tour, and learn everything that he does.
Yes.
So I can implement it myself, because I feel like the biggest issue that I have, and I've spoken with this to people before, is that my knowledge. I'm a glutton for learning new things. I love learning things. When somebody tells me something, I get so wrapped up into it because I enjoy. I'm in my 30s, so there's not a lot of shit that I don't already know. And it's not like relevant bullshit of what the fuck's going on in social media or things that are around the world. It's, oh, do you know, like little tricks of the trade, like, oh, do you know if you take a right rather than a left around the corner, you'll cut 5 minutes off your time? Like, oh, fuck, I didn't think that. Like, or if I turn, like, just with my shoulder injury, like, I was figuring I would never be able to train a certain way, and the guy pretty much just told me, hey, just change your hand placement and do this. And all of a sudden, I went to go do it, and it was like an aha moment. My shoulder opened up, and I was able to do a shoulder press with zero pain. And it's like, how do you know my body better than I know my body?
Yes.
I could have paid that guy to work on me for one time, or I literally could spend a week with that guy and him show me how to use my body properly.
Yes, because you'll naturally. That's the thing. So let's take Joe Rogan. Here's the thing. the the notoriety you would get just by traveling with him. So instead of being that, oh, I was that guy that met Joe Rogan, so you have to show people a video or a picture if you go, hey.
Yeah, and oh, by the way, he gave me $1 million.
You'll be known because you're constantly with him as, oh, that's the guy with Joe Rogan.
And then it goes off into an entrepreneur concept of he's not just making money from comedy. He's also commentating. He's also doing comedy. He's also doing the podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He also has merch.
Spotify.
It literally Lord. And yeah, Spotify paid him $1 million. Like 100. It was 100. It was $100 million.
Yes.
To lock him in on that contract, and that's just a portion of where his money comes from.
It was insanity.
And he just, you know what he does on his fucking podcast? He drinks.
Yes.
And smokes weed. And then just talks.
What was he on before? Was it Twitch?
I don't know if he had a Twitch account.
Wherever he was before, that's how Spotify got him. They paid him out. I think they paid him out of his other contract.
They pulled him because he would use sponsors, and he still uses sponsors. Every time you open up, he'll be like, CBD MD or Manscaped or
Joe Rogan. So with the lifestyle, I imagine he lives. He's making more than enough money. He doesn't have to actually spend. He doesn't actually have to work.
He choked about it. He goes, I have what you call fuck you money.
Yes.
Meaning if I don't like something, fuck you. Here's my money.
Yeah, go away.
And he goes, I don't need it, and he's very minimal because the dude doesn't even buy meat from the store. He hunts. He'll go out with this guy, which is another. I'll mention all three people down the road, but Joe are going to be one, and there's another guy named Steve Ranella. Oh. Steve Ranella, he's an American author and a hunter. He has a TV show called Meat Eater on Netflix, YouTube, stuff like that, and he literally goes and hunts everything. Oh, nice. And it's dope. Like, he'll go through a whole thing, takes him about a whole week to go, like, hunt a bear, or go hunt an elk, or go hunt a moose. Excuse me. And he'll use this stuff to not only promote the show, because people are paying thousands of $1,000s to watch him do this, because I don't know how to hunt anything. Right. I don't know how to skin it. But then he tells me, he mentions, like, so he hunted a buffalo. No, it wasn't a buffalo. It was a bear that was killing livestock all around all around the areas. And so they're like, hey, Steve, can you go check this out? So he went there, recorded a little document. That bear was 400 to 500 pounds. Yeah. 500 pounds of meat. Now think about it like this. I go buy a pound of chicken, and that lasts me for maybe 3 or 4 meal preps.
Oh, well, yeah.
500 pounds. And he only has to literally pay for the hunting tag.
That's not all fat.
No. And he does brisket, he does ground beef, he does steaks, he does everything. Ribs. And it's just he cooks it, and one of the episodes he had Joe Rogan on there. So Joe Rogan went to go hunt. They hunted a mule deer, which is like this 400-pound massive deer that has fucking spears sticking out of his head. They kill it, and Joe Rogan was talking on the podcast. He goes, I hunted with this man over 2 years ago, and I still have meat from that one deer that I killed. One deer, and there was a pack of 50 to 100 deers out there.
Yeah, easily.
So it blows my mind that people like him and other individuals like Steve Ranella that can actually use the minimal amount of effort, but it takes hard work in order to get the maximum result.
Yes. Side note, that's why I think it's funny when we keep talking about food shortages. Yes. They're like, oh, because my girlfriend's little sister lives on the East Coast, and she was like, yeah, we ran out of chicken. I was like, what do you mean you ran out of chicken? She was like, they're not giving us any more chicken. It just so happened we just came back from Cane's, and we were eating chicken. And in my mind, I'm going, so why don't we kill anything else? You don't see quail on the menu or deer. Like Lynn said, rabbit, elk. These are other sources of meat. Why do we just keep eating cows and chickens? It's so funny. That was a random side note. All right, Lynn, what else you got? Anything else?
No, man, I'm good.
How was your 4th of July?
It was okay. It was good.
Oh,
I didn't really do a whole lot.
4th of July is kind of boring. I'm sorry, guys.
I noticed as far as I have to stop myself from reminiscing on past events that I used to enjoy doing, because I feel like when I go do something new, I'm kind of just like, it's like Christmas. Yeah. It's like, as a kid, Christmas was fucking
it used to be amazing.
You used to get excited. Now it's just like,
I'm going to watch A Christmas Story all day.
Yeah. It's Christmas. It's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Is that, what was that? Was that Borderlands?
Yeah. It's like,
it's like Christmas. It's like Christmas. Yeah, but I'm good, man. I'm done. That's it. That's me.
That was it. Okay, right. So you know what? We're going to go and wrap this one up.
Yeah.
See, short and sweet. You had time to get a beer.
Oh, yeah.
Or a libation.
Go shoot a moose.
Shoot a... Oh, my God.
Spear hunt a...
What if vegans are listening?
Fuck vegans.
Oh!
Meat. More meat.
Oh!
More.
Oh, I am a carnivore. I can't help it.
We're all mostly carnivores. I mean, no, I do agree in a healthy balance of a plant-based diet.
Omnivores.
Omnivores.
Yeah.
Autobots.
Decepticons.
Transform
and roll out.
Roll out.
Ah! All right, everybody. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Check out our Twitter. We put a Venmo link in the description down below. check out our website, projectairwaves.com. Don't forget to check us out on Anchor, and we are now on YouTube. If you want to see videos of our ugly mugs,
yes, please.
Go ahead, check us out, show us some love, leave some comments,
Patreon?
like and subscribe.
Did you say Patreon?
Oh, no.
Patrons.
If you didn't go to Patreon,
Please.
go there now. Go there now. We have 3 tiers. We'll be adding more down the road. Merch is coming. More stuff is coming. We just got a drone. We're ordering video cameras. Shit's about to pop off. It's about to get nuts. Keep your head in
queen.
the motherfucking clouds.
Keep your feet on the ground, always moving forward.
D and Lynn, Project Airwaves, signing out. You did so good.
So long.